Hi, this is Roger, thanks for dropping by. There was a time when I always used to film new blooms that had just opened, like on the day or the next day. I thought, it's, as a short video, let's get back to doing that sort of thing. Now this has just opened up. This is Dendrobium Tortilly. Now it's got twisted sepals and petals. Now this one opened crooked. Well, it didn't actually open crooked, it stuck. And I had to help it, and in helping it, it's not opened properly. Whereas the one above has gorgeous markings inside the lip, lovely veining, and a very delicate colour. And I would imagine a mass blooming of that would look absolutely stunning. Well, we're not going to get one. This is another one of the dendrobiums that's not growing well. And all these little green bits that are sticking out, that look like they might be blooms, are probably going to be the same as this, and they're going to be Keikis. And that takes me on to a theory. There is some green at the base here and here, so the mother plant is growing. Several of my dendrobiums have produced Keikis, and in some cases that might be the saviour of them because the main plant may not make it. If Keikis are effectively born into this environment, I've just got a feeling they're going to grow much, much better than a plant that's come from the old place with the move of the house and the total change of environment that in the main has messed them up. So I've got a feeling that where I can get Keikis, instead of sulking and thinking those should have been blooms, I think I ought to sort of thank goodness so that I can start some new plants. In some cases those Keikis don't exist and the main plant may be lost. But if you see, like, this is a nice little Keiki starting to grow some roots. Who knows, there may be another one or two on that plant as the season goes on. They can be taken off. I've got a mount full of Keikis over here, the Dendrobium phylum, and they're pushing on nicely. So that's a whole new mount full of plant, if you know what I mean. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, there's 5 or 6 growths coming on there. And those will be canes. Those will be canes that hopefully will bloom not next spring, but the spring after. But then more growths will come. So, the Keikis is not as bad as it sounds. And I've started sort of thinking about the mounts. Where do they get the most light? And I think the rack that gets the most light is this side of this one and this end of this one. Because this mount here, these couple of mounts here, definitely look brighter than these. Now that's obviously only while we've got the sun on the roof, which is moving across at the moment. It'll be gone soon. Anyway, back to the new blooms. This is my no ID black hair type. Quite honestly, this is the most vigorous and strongest growing black hair type I've ever had. This is a good strong cane. We've managed to dispose of the scale that was really plaguing the black hair types. And, 5 big flower buds on a single cane. And then the other cane over there's got 4. And these have just opened. So this is typical of the large black hair type. White flower, large, and some form of gold, orange or yellow in the lip. And I think 5 blooms opening up on that cane is going to be pretty good stuff. So anyway, just a quick video, a couple of new blooms. So there's another one over here. So, that's Nobly there with the Keikis sticking out all over the place. They're not forming roots yet, although I can see a root on one of them, which means they will. They will form roots. And those will form, perhaps 2 or maybe 3 for a pot, probably 2 potfuls to go to somebody else, And that particular Nobly, it does grow tall, but the flowers on it are absolutely enormous, so that will be quite a bonus for somebody. It's a no ID because it's not what I thought it was going to be when I got it. but it looks a bit like Comet King. So it's a very attractive Nobly bloom with enormous blooms. And the spikes normally have 2 to 3 blooms. I've even had a spike with 4. This year we got Keikis. Again, you know, possibly an environmental thing. So we shall see. And there's another bit of good news as well. Probably the only Cattleya left on the mountain that's actually going to make it. It's actually got a nice strong new growth coming and some new roots. Needs to come off. Needs to come off this mount and get rid of this moss. That may well go in a holy clay pot as it's got new roots growing. It's another little job to do. And I probably showed you this. This is my only Orchis now. And this has got little spikes coming out. They're delicate little things and they have delicate little flowers. But there's 3 and it looks like there might be another one starting. So 3 spikes. I think it's only ever had 1 before. So that one's doing okay. You know, some things are doing okay, but not huge numbers of them. Anyway, I just thought I'd show you this. This doesn't show up as well on the camera as it does in real life. It's really delicate, a very attractive colour and lovely markings in the lip. It just doesn't show up as well on camera, unfortunately. Anyway, see you next time. Thanks for dropping by.